I'm really glad that you're here. I've been waiting for you to drop by. What have you been doing today? Tell me in the comments. I've missed talking to you. Well, you've stumbled upon me making a bit of a pocket page layout for Mother's Day, featuring some stuff from my spring kit, a little sneak peek of another kit that I'm working on for me. What you're about to watch me do is put a converter, an ink converter, into my new Pilot Kakuno fountain pen, and I am about to pull out I bought new inks. This particular ink, the color of it is absolutely perfect for what I'm about to do. It's this beautiful pinky orange that's really vibrant. It looks beautiful on creamy paper, and I love pairing it with dusty blues and sort of pastel shades as well, because I feel like it's very harmonious, and it really works with the tones that I love as well. So the name of this ink is, I can't remember what the name is, but I'm sure one of you will tell me in the comments, because everybody uses Pilot inks, don't they? And anyway, if you really want the name of the ink, you can just let me know, and I'll probably pop it in the description when I can remember to. What you see me doing today is cutting out some stamps from the Maggie Holmes Marigold collection. It's a digital collection that I have with me because I purchased it from American Crafts, and I'm using my thinning scissors to create a bit of texture on the edges of the stamps, because it actually is meant to thin hair, so you'll get a bit of a serrated edge when you use it. And I'm just putting my scissors back. That was an Amazon find. I don't know if you do what I do, which is pre-plan your layouts and sort of imagine what they might look like and then rearrange everything on one page and print the whole thing out. I find that doing that really sets me up for finishing something in a specific space of time, helps me tell a story and not get too distracted, because I get so distracted I will suddenly start cleaning my craft room, and then 3 hours later I'm like, bloody hell, I haven't even finished filming. And I just then leave the edits for like 3 years before I get to them, and so I've just found it much better for me to like work as I go, and sort of just plan as I work. I think that's a good way of putting it. I'm using my Tim Holtz Tonic Studios portable cutter to get a few basic pages out. I work in 4 by 5.5 inches because that's the size of my that's the size of my pocket pages, and I really love mixing high quality craft paper with quality, different kinds of paper. I've got tracing or vellum paper, I've got craft, I've got a bit of just basic construction, and I like having 4 different tones when I do a layout, and so you actually literally see me lay these out. I did a bit of swatching on a bit of paper, and I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get that to pop? And I knew that these were going to be the elements of my layout, so I just knew that there was going to be a lot of oranges, a lot of warm tones. What you see, that tumbling leaf pattern, is actually from my spring kit. Then what I'm cutting out right now is a comic that I saved on my Instagram ages ago. I really love what it says, which is, believe me, we're all crazy here. It's not a competition. Or relax, we're all crazy. It's not a competition, which I feel it really speaks to the women in my family, because we all lose our minds at the same time, and I'm like, hey, we're all crazy. It's not a competition, okay? You don't have to outdo each other. But yeah, my mum and I have had a myriad of adventures, and I just really wanted to capture her spirit with the lovely she likes warm colors as well. She likes, pinks, and she wears teal very well. She wears purple very well, which are cooler colors that I don't carry off as well as my mum does, because my mum's undertones are actually quite a bit cooler than mine. I've got a bit of sort of a almost olivey undertone, which I think I get from my dad. So this the orange. This is an orange I actually drew on some watercolor paper. Sort of an art pad, and I then scanned it in and did a little bit of boosting to the color so that it would print again. And it's actually part of my upcoming citrus kit. which I haven't revealed the extra pages yet, but that's about to happen. I really need to finish working on that and get ready for the launch. I've been, teasing it a bit, but it's a small launch. I just don't want to get overwhelmed. Life can be so overwhelming, so hey, it looks like I really managed to get a few more things in here. I think I must have stopped filming and then resumed. That tends to happen sometimes. So I punched a hole in the orange and I put a bit of orange yarn in. I'm trying to see if I can get the thread out of the corn tee. This is corn silk tee for my career, I think. And it's just really, really fun to sort of see the whole layout come together. And this is the ink that I mentioned just now, and I'm just checking that it writes. So this is love. So this is love. So this is what makes life divine. Sorry, it's in my head because it's just everywhere, isn't it, that song? So this particular stamp, it's not a stamp. I just do a sheet of them every time, and I just keep them handy. I designed them myself. It's not from a brand or anything, but I've got a few stamps now that allow me to do that. I think this is. I decided to let's go closer and take a closer look at what I was doing. So I lowered the camera here. And yes, that's a Starbucks cup you see. I actually cut out the Starbucks cup. And I have a shipment that's just come in from Social Paper Plan. So you see me cutting that glassine out. I want to use the glassine. And I obviously want to use that sticker in another layout at some point. The Social Paper Plan sticker, which I just put to the side. So here I am trying to do a bit of journaling on the Starbucks cup. This is red line tape from Scott, which is really quite strong. It's high quality stuff. I would just use a tape roller, but the back of the Starbucks cup can be a little bit slippy slidey because it's waxed, and so I think it looks better like that. Yeah, it does look good. I love how the glassine makes it it really works. It's very 80s, you know what I mean? Like those blushy bluey colors and then a bit of filmy gauzy bits. It's very like Tom Cruise's bedroom. The sun is rising. It's very Top Gun. Okay, no, that's just me wishful thinking because I want to be in Top Gun with Tom Cruise. Hey, back in the day before he was Scientology, that man was fire. Okay, he very attractive, and because I'm not very tall, I don't really need him. I mean, he's only what, 5? Isn't he like only 5'7" or 5'8" or something? Extraordinarily handsome man. Okay, my age is showing. I'm 35. Can you tell? Okay, so at this point, I'm trying to figure out whether the orange should be here. Very quickly, I realized that that's not going to work. So I realized that if I want, I can literally use it as a pocket, right? So the idea here is for me to actually get a bit of a base down so that the brown card, which is from my kit, will actually pop. So this is a bit of a Maggie Holmes paper with the bees on. I like the whole idea of honey and citrus. I feel it goes well together. And then I'm like, okay, let's create a pocket and then let that orange be in it. And so I'm using this high quality tape in a bit to put that down. But first I'm writing things that I love about my mom, and what I'm thanking her for, to be more specific. So thank you for the music, thank you for the movies, or films I should say, thank you for the handwriting. Yeah, it's my mom that taught me how to write, and that's why I'll carry her with me wherever I go, for cooking experiences, for compassion, maybe for activism. I can't remember what I wrote in the last one, but my mom and I are a bit, we're firecrackers. We're small, but not small. I mean, we are powerful despite us just being individuals. We know when to speak up, and we try to do that together. And a lot of my memories are around standing up for people with my mom. We don't like bullies, do we? Yeah, there you go. For a sense of justice. That's exactly what I would thank my mom for today. She was right here, and I miss her. I hope to see her soon. Now that the pandemic travel has changed, I look forward to visiting her more often. I was just on the phone with her just now, trying to figure out how we could see each other again. I haven't seen my dad in almost 3 years, it feels. And then I'm just writing how I know how much she wanted to have a life full of joy, to spread joy, and I hope I get to, what did I say? Yeah, share many experiences full of joy with you in the coming years. Yeah, I just want to have great memories with my mom. I want to create those. We didn't always have time for each other because my mom raised 4 kids, and as her eldest daughter, I always felt like I mean, you know what it's like. You kind of want to support your parents as much as possible, and you sort of put yourself in a position where you're there to help them, and then you don't really get to know them and enjoy being their kid, you know. So I really want to do that with mom at some point. I mean, we've been able to a little bit over the years, but now that I'm in my mid-30s, I think it's like I am past the age that my mom was when she had her last kid. She had my brother when she was 36, I think. I think so. I need to double check with her. Yeah. Anyway, so I just want to get to know her on a completely different level, because my mom is a very interesting human being, and she's lived through a lot of stuff. World War II. No, she didn't live through World War II, but she was a World War II kid in the sense that she is the youngest of a bunch of kids, and her siblings and everything, like her whole family was very impacted by World War II, as was my dad's. And you know, Southeast Asia, you know, with the Japanese occupation and then handing it back to the British and everything, it really impacted who we were as a family, in terms of our story. So I really want to learn more about my mom, her story, maybe do a bit of memory keeping with her. She actually is she is a journaler, if you think about it. She writes heck of a lot of notes down. Very proud to be her daughter. She's my mom is a really magnificent human being. I know she knows this, so I shall direct her to this video, but if just in case she needs to find out. So I'm just using regular double-sided tape and not the premium stuff here, just because paper sticks on paper fairly well, and there's no. Oh, I've gone in and edited another bit. I think I was a bit nervous about it sort of coming up at the edges. And so now I'm just trying to figure out how this all aligns, and I'm thinking to myself, I've got to anchor mom a bit more. How do I do that without it being without interrupting the flow of things too much? Then I realized a bit of a solid would help. And very quickly I realized that the tag doesn't have to be intact to do its job. I think I end up cutting it. Yeah, that's right. I end up letting mom float on the green, and yeah, I end up splitting it so that she has the ability to float on the green like that. Yeah, I wanted her to stand out and yet have a bit of texture around her. The paper in the background, that grey taupey paper, I'm really in love with it because I drew strawberries with leaves and petals and everything at one point. It turned out really well into a pattern when I started arranging it. Now we're on the final piece of the puzzle, and this is where I don't think I end up using much of that corn silk husk tea baggy thing. Yeah, so this is tracing paper. I think it ends up coming through really well, but I realized that it looked really nice with a bit of a see-through situation. That photograph that I took of me was, we went to Indonesia for a holiday. This was way before the pandemic, and Stephen and I haven't been on a holiday since the pandemic. We haven't been anywhere together. We haven't even had a staycation. We haven't had a treat. You know, we haven't had a break from our reality for about 3 years now. So I really hope we get to do that, to at least have some adventures together. We're an adventurous sort of folk, so I hope we get to do that. I don't remember if I ended up using the washi, but these are Canson photo edgy things, and that means that the photograph itself is floating, and I can remove it if I need to for any reason. But I think that this is just such a beautiful way to get everything in place, but also have flexibility. So I cut out the stamp just now, and I'm trying to figure out, can I make it into a tuck pocket? Should I bother, or should I just stick with the basics and keep it more elemental with this, because there's a lot of movement here with the ink at the back. Again, I'm trying to see whether that works. Okay, I guess I ended up using it. This is empty washi, guys. This stuff is legend. You can't really go wrong with a bit of gold washi. And then that's the stamp, because I thought the colors worked, and not really significant in any way except that there's flowers in my hand. There's flowers in the stamp, so I'm like, okay, you know what, let's do it. I was not 27 when I was in this photograph. I'm fairly certain I was 32. The key to all heaven is mine. Yes, I've been thinking about that song a heck of a lot. My heart has wings, and I can fly. Sorry, I don't mean to bore you with my singing, but you know me, I can't stop myself. I'm trying to get some Mickey ears in there from the Social Paper Plan stamp set, but it's not really coming through. It sort of looks like some things that it could just be more leaves, because there are leaves above my head, right? Gosh, this was a beautiful day. I remember I was so happy. I took a book to the beach and I just sat and read, and it was very, very peaceful and calming. And you know what, guys? I really love this spread. It came together so beautifully. I'm going to leave you with a bunch of photographs. I'm so sorry if the video is a bit shaky, but here you go. Enjoy it. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, okay? Talk to you soon. Bye.